What's the vibes, tribe? Welcome back to North Star Lighthouse, where all paths are welcome and is a safe space for you and me to just be. Today, I will be guiding you through a 10-minute meditation while discussing the topic of feelings and emotions and why we have them. So, go ahead and find a comfortable position, either seated or lying on a flat surface, and let's take off. Let's start out with a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take a moment to acknowledge any sounds, smells, tastes, or even feelings that may be present. Slowly but surely, we're going to begin to detach from our 5 sensory interpretation, with the exception of sound. You'll hear my voice throughout the video and meditation. But begin to place some of your focus on your breath, going in through the nose, out through the mouth. And if it feels more comfortable for you at this time, you could breathe normally in through the nose, exhaling out through the nose as well. So tribe, throughout previous videos and going forward, you'll hear me continually discuss emotions and feelings and why they are so vital throughout our life journey. Our emotions are basically an internal GPS system that helps us direct and guide ourselves on our path and navigate around things that we like and do not like, things that we truly desire or wish to change and eradicate. What we want and even the things that we don't want are based off of our feelings and emotions, and it's important to understand this concept. If we can grasp this concept, accept that all emotions are valid, real within us, ever present, constantly changing, and also accept that all feelings are okay to experience, we are on our way to controlling our feelings and emotions and ensuring that we are on the end of the emotional scale that helps bring what we truly want and desire into its fullest manifestation. Manifestations are based on the way that we feel, because feelings are vibrations. That's why we have sensations inside of our bodies when we notice and acknowledge that we are experiencing certain feelings. Now, labeling emotions can be pretty tricky because there's not always a word to define how we're feeling. We just know that we are feeling. And while it's not important to define it for others, it is important for us to know whether it is a feeling that we want to persist or that we want to sit through and acknowledge when it passes. Because the better that we feel, even if the feeling is contentment or satisfaction, we are closer to our manifestation. Now, let's talk about feelings that are lesser than satisfied, which can look like disappointment, discouragement, regret, grief, anger, rage, depression. All of these emotions slow down our manifestations. Any emotion that imposes a level of resistance, hesitation, fear, doubt, and indecision basically slows down or can temporarily stop our truest desires and manifestations from coming into existence. This is why it's so important to induce self-care, self-love, grace, compassion, and to show yourself love and to know that things are going to be okay and everything is working out in your favor, as long as you have all of the basic necessities, which is air, water, food, clothing, and shelter. That is all of the things that we actually need in life. So anything else is a luxury, it's a privilege, and it's a want. That may be hard to believe, And you are not wrong for challenging this notion. I too have come from a space where I used phrases out of belief that I needed other things other than what I just mentioned, like money. And that always isn't the case. Money is made up, it is a currency of energy that we spend, just like time. And we can't take it with us. And when we don't have it, life doesn't end. Okay, so some of the other things that I mentioned on a list, when we don't have those things, we may be in harm's way and it may cease our lives. So, those are the things that we actually need in order to continue to live. And when we realize and accept that this list is actually short and we have most of these things almost always, it makes it easier for us to navigate up the emotional scale. When we feel any of the feelings that's lesser than content or satisfied, we can remind ourselves that we have the basic and essential needs in order to continue to live. And if we can continue to live, we have a chance. We have a chance of experiencing all of the things that not only we need, but the things that we also want. Now, it is helpful to be able to articulate feelings because there is an emotional scale. There's levels to this. So, for example, being mad is actually better or higher on the emotional frequency than being enraged or infuriated. Jealousy is better than being envious, and being disappointed is higher on the emotional scale than being angry. So, if we could cross the bridge to get to contentment and satisfaction with intention, noticing that we feel lesser than these things and take an action that will help soothe us into feeling satisfied, content, we're able to reach the higher frequencies on the emotional scale. So, happiness is a higher frequency than being content. And being excited or elated is a higher frequency than being happy. There is a wide range of emotions, good, bad, they're both indifferent. Just know that we all have them and we can explore them by allowing ourselves to sit and feel and understand what it means. Is there a thought that's happening in our minds that's causing these emotions? Are we observing something in our conscious mind, meaning we're using our five sensory interpretation, like we're looking at something or we're hearing someone speak to us and it's making us feel a certain way? And depending upon where we fall in the emotional scale, by making an observation that's happening outside of us or within us, will determine what actions we need to take next. Will also determine what's probably going to continue to manifest if we allow ourselves to stew in these emotions. So again, I just want to emphasize and reiterate, when we are feeling anything lesser than content or satisfied, we need to take actions in order to move up the emotional scale. That could be a workout, that could be deep breathing exercises, that can be calling a friend or watching a movie. It's anything that will change our focus. So we want to change the circumstance if we have control over doing that. If not, we want to change our environment if we can. If not, we need to change our perception. And there's different ways of assimilating some of these practices into our journeys so that we can continue to move up the emotional scale and have more experiences of what we wish to have and desire and experience. And on the opposing end, when we feel happy, elated, excited, spontaneous, adventurous, we want to milk that feeling. We want to spend as much time in that feeling as possible because either way, whether we're feeling lesser than content or satisfied or more than content or satisfied, it determines what's going to happen next. Take a look at anything around you, even if you're just observing someone else, but definitely in your own experience as well. It's like when people say, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And that was 4 hours ago, and they're still in a crappy mood. They'll also acknowledge all the crappy things that happened in between the wake up to the point where they're speaking about it. And that's because law of attraction is going to always match our energy. So How we wake up in the morning is important, and how we soothe ourselves back into better feelings is important, because we have to get more of what we feel. That's how vibration works. We emit a vibration out into the ethers, and it emits one right back to us. So when we feel really good when we wake up in the morning, and we notice that people are really kind to us. We notice that our coffee is free that day. We notice that our train and our bus is showing up right on time, or there's not much traffic on the road. It's like the universe literally will clear pathways for us just to feel even better, because we already feel good. And that's literally how energy and vibration works, my friends. So I'm encouraging you to write down a list of actions you can take when you don't feel so great, and take those actions when you don't feel so great. Get back into a better mood. And when you feel really good, milk it. Meditation is a great practice in the morning to start your day off on the right foot. And I encourage you to do things that feel good as much as you can, so that you can manifest fully. Namaste, tribe. Until next time.